Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Old Fart here, just farting around. Today I am at the Ben Franklin Bridge in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and me and Winky, my service dog, are going to go ahead and walk across the Ben Franklin Bridge from Philadelphia to New Jersey, and then from New Jersey and back. And right now it's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's November 12th, 2025. All right, and we're going to go ahead and try and cross the road here so we can get to the walkway safely. All right, looks like now is our chance. Some of you folks are probably saying, well, why are you doing this? Why are you walking across the bridge? Well, the reason I'm doing it is because a lot of people haven't ever seen anything like this before, where you walk across the Ben Franklin Bridge and catch some really nice views. And the other reason is to honor those that have passed from either their own choice or something that unfortunately happened to them tragically beyond their control. And that includes those that have passed when building the bridge, and those that unfortunately took their lives on the bridge. Now, some notable incidents are in 2022, in October, 2 construction workers were struck and killed by a westbound Patco train. And Patco is phonetically, that's Papa Alpha Tango Charlie Oscar. It was a Patco train, and what happened was these 2 construction workers were struck, and unfortunately their lives were taken when a westbound Patco train, while they were working on the bridge, and the accident led to a lot of delays on this train line and a lot of scrutiny over safety concerned as well. Another reason I'm doing this is, I don't like to admit it, is I'm conquering my fear of heights. I'm facing my fear. I have a horrible fear of heights, and this is definitely testing those, testing that for sure. Right now we're, I would say, up probably about 100 feet right now. I'm looking over this right here. We're right above Florist Street, and yeah, we're high up already. So we're just going to take this nice and slow. I guess part of the not inspiration I'm doing this, but part of the reason that I'm doing this is because I seen one of my favorite YouTubers, one of my favorite creators, Phila Captain. I seen him do this, and I'm pretty sure he said he was like trying to conquer his fear of heights as well too. There's a lot of space on this walkway. I would say it's about 6 to 7 feet wide. Yeah, I would say about 6 to 7 feet wide. So it's pretty safe. It feels pretty stable. But one thing I'm going to do right now is take a moment to lock Winky in. They have these little extra little I thought they did extra little seatbelt things. I'm not seeing it. Alright. Huh. Thought they had a little extra. Can we both? No, they don't. Not in this one. I thought they don't. That's pretty messed up that they don't. I'm surprised they don't. Alright. Well, some of these dog strollers have extra little like mini leashes that attach to the center of the stroller on the inside, 4 of it. But we're okay. We don't need that. Going, this is right, Florist Street. Right, this is looks like we're running parallel with Florist Street. That's pretty cool. Called a road zipper by Lindsay. Sure, it looks like it's, I don't know what that does, but if you know, let me know in the comments what that is. A road zipper by Lindsay. Very cool. Get a lot of noise, background noise. One of that train, that Patco train just went by. That's directly below us. All right, and I think I'll put my hat back on because now it's getting a little chilly. There you go. All right, that looks like I guess maybe a condominium complex. It has a gym with a horrible view, I guess, on that side of the bridge. Definitely not a good view. But I guess if you're in this, on this side rather, probably get a little bit of a nicer view of the river. Right, that looks like it's Race Street. Not sure what the cross street is, but that's Race. I assume it's one of the numbered streets. Now, if you look really far out there off to the horizon, you can see the Walt Whitman Bridge. That's another bridge that goes from Philadelphia to New Jersey. And the Atlantic City Expressway is very accessible from that bridge. It pretty much puts you right onto it. And that will take you obviously right to Atlantic City. Atlantic City is a lot more desolate and less popular and just really less busy in general than it ever has been. And that's because online gaming and all the casinos that were legalized have taken a huge portion out of that. So Atlantic City really suffered a lot when all these other states legalized gambling. Right now we're directly above the I-95 expressway. The I-95 runs all the way from Maine to Florida. I highly recommend you take the road trip if you're on the East Coast down to Florida. Preferably from some of these northern states, it's really nice to see the whole transition into the South. Everything's really cool because the food and the cuisine gets different and changes, and it's really delicious, and you just really get to enjoy all the different parts of each one of those areas. Hello, how you doing? And yeah, so we're getting onto the main portion of the bridge. I'm not sure how many feet we are right now, and yeah, it's a little feeling a little bit of anxiety. I think that's normal because boy, oh boy, are we up high. Oh geez, wow, this is really up high. Okay, we're right above something called Pier Street. I'm sorry, the Ray Street Pier, excuse me. That's the Cherry Street Pier. I think that may be a collection of vendors, which is really cool. If you ever get a chance, I would definitely check that out. It's just, I would say, a bunch of like mom and pop type stores, that kind of thing. There's really nothing corporate in there, which is nice because it's nice to really nice to see a lot of the locally made products and goods, and it's a lot nicer to contribute to the local economy, in my opinion, than going to the corporate, as much as you can, of course. I don't think we're even halfway over this bridge, and I'm checking the battery and it's at 66%, but I did bring 2 extra ones, so when it does go, I'll be able to change them out, get right back. But yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. Now I'm shooting this with the GoPro, as I said earlier. Now I did have an issue. I'm not sure if could have been my fault, where the other night I went to go record something and it was pretty cold outside and the camera just kept shutting off. But I think that may have been because I didn't even have it warmed up. I think I turned it on when it was really cold, and I think that was the problem. But right now, like I said, it's near freezing temperatures and it's on. It's still good to go. What a beautiful view this is. And the time is exactly 10:27 a.m. Like I said, this is November 12th, 2025. This is a really cool little park right here. Wow. Me and Winky actually got a photo. I'll post it in the upper left corner when I edit this video. But yeah, we got a really cool picture selfie right down there where those benches are, and it was a really nice shot of the bridge. But Yeah, we're getting even better views right now. That's for sure. This is a first for me, and I'm sure it's a first for a lot of you folks at home watching this. And one thing I always like to stress with some of these videos and tours and stuff is if there's a place that you're interested in, put in the comments, because if I could do it on my budget, which is really limited right now, unfortunately I lost my job involuntarily, so I'm on unemployment, but I'm really looking for work. But yeah, so if you could have any ideas or you want to put some in the comments, go right ahead. I'd be more than happy to do it. All right, we are kind of in the middle, or close to the middle, I think. And there's a little device right here. I'm not sure what that is. If anybody knows what that's for, put that in the comments, because I have no idea what that's for. But there's another little footwalk on this side, possibly for the, possibly for one of the operators here. I'm not sure how it works. I just make sure I'm clear and we don't get. I'm just trying to make sure we don't get bumped into by a biker or somebody just not paying attention. So, just trying to have my head on a swivel a little bit over here. This water is really nice looking. I mean, yeah, of course it's dark and murky, but I'm sure there's lots of cool fish. All right, Wink? Yeah, buddy, say hi to the folks at home. Little high five? All right, let's do a high five. Oh yeah, get a little selfie, me and you. Hold on, go quick to the folks at home. Look at the camera, look. Yeah, good boy. All right. All right. So it looks like you were pretty close to halfway over the bridge. I really like these. It's really cool how they have these like street lamp style little lamps. Very cool. Very nice. All right. Take off my gloves real quick. There we go. All right. So yeah, this is the Ben Franklin Bridge, as you know, as I said for the, somebody can't even tell you how many times, but Ben Franklin, he was really notable in Philadelphia. Some people really liked him, some people criticized him a lot. I'm not here to do either, I'm just here to give you some of the history of him. And he was born January 17th, 1706, long time ago. And he made it till January 6th, 1705. I'm sorry, excuse me, I apologize. He was born January 17th, 1706. And he passed on April 17th, 1790 at age 84 in Philadelphia. And he was born in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people know he was from Boston. And basically Ben Franklin, he was a writer, he was a scientist, an inventor, a statesman, diplomat. He was a printer, publisher, and a political philosopher. He was definitely, for sure, among the most influential intellectuals of his time, for sure. He was one of the founding fathers of the United States, which was really cool. He was a drafter and signer of the Declaration of Independence, and he was our first Postmaster General. A lot of people don't know that. He also really liked beer, too. If you like beer, let me know in the comments. But yeah, as I was saying, he was born in somewhere in Massachusetts, and he became really successful as a newspaper editor and printer in Philadelphia. And at that time, it was like the leading city of all the colonies. And he was publishing, it's called the Pennsylvania Gazette. And that was when he was like 23 years old. He became really wealthy publishing, and he did something called Poor Richard's Almanac, and he wrote that under the pseudonym Richard Saunders. And right after 1767, he's also associated with the Pennsylvania Chronicle, which is a newspaper known for its revolutionary sentiments and criticism of the policies of the British Parliament and the Crown, which is a big no-no at the time. He also pioneered and was like the first president of the Academy and College of Philadelphia, which opened up in 1751. And I know later on he became the university, it became the, what's it called? The University of Pennsylvania, excuse me. He also organized and was the first secretary of the American Philosophical Society, and was elected as president in 1769. Ben Franklin, he really was active in a lot of community affairs and the colonial and state politics, as everybody knows, and as well as national and all the international affairs. It's part of everything. As you see, he wore a lot of hats. Really talented guy, a lot of gifts. But he really became a hero in America when, as an agent in London for several colonies, he spearheaded the repeal of the unpopular Stamp Act, which was from the British Parliament. He was an accomplished diplomat, widely admired as the first U.S. ambassador to France. He was a major figure in the development of positive Franco-American relations. And his efforts really proved vital in securing French aid for the American Revolution. (1785 to 1788). He served as the president of Pennsylvania, and a lot of people said a lot of negative things, but I really don't know much about that as far as slavery goes, and any of the for sale ads and all that stuff that he was allegedly running. I don't know anything about that, and I really didn't want to put anything like that in my I didn't want to put anything like that in my upload. But he was really awesome. He was a scientist. His studies of electricity made him a huge figure in the American Enlightenment, the history of physics. He's huge. He also charted and named the Gulf Stream current. That was never known until he discovered that. His numerous important inventions that he definitely invented and confirmed is the lightning rod, bifocals, glass harmonicas, and the Franklin stove. He founded many civic organizations as well too. The Library Company, like I said, the University of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia's first fire department. A lot of people don't know that either. He earned the title of the first American for his early unwavering campaigning for colonial unity. He was like the only person to sign the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Paris, and the Constitution. Only person to sign all three. Oh yeah, that's just a little bit of the history of Ben Franklin. And at this time, we are pretty much on the halfway point of the bridge. I want to take this moment now to have a moment of silence for those that have lost their lives on this bridge. Like I said, whether they did it by their own doing or they suffered something tragic. This moment of silence is for them. All right. All right, so we'll continue on towards New Jersey. And I'll get a little view from Philadelphia, looks like now. Wow, what a nice view. See all the buildings there. Very nice. Independence 1, the Comcast Center, Liberty 1, Liberty 2. And that's a pretty nice view over here of Camden. I could see the aquarium straight ahead where that bubble is. It's that white bubble. Looks like that's the Camden Aquarium. And a little bit north of that, that sits back behind that, looks like it's maybe a training facility for the 76ers. See the 76ers logo. And as I said, I had a pretty serious fear of heights. I mean, I don't know if I completely cured it now. I mean, I'm not going to be rappelling down the side of mountains or anything like that. But we're jumping out of airplanes. But I could definitely tell you, I feel a little better now. We're halfway over the bridge, and definitely don't have that horrible anxiety feeling that I first felt when I started walking. Absolutely gorgeous view here. See an airplane coming in to the Philadelphia International Airport, which is about 6 or 7 miles from here, which is in that direction right there. And as you see, he's on final approach for landing, and his gear's coming out right now, actually. So yeah, he's landing. So lots of wind today for sure. I would say the wind's blowing about 10 or 15 miles an hour, maybe 12 for argument's sake, but nothing really more than that, nothing less than that. And that's really at the top of this bridge right now. The wind conditions are definitely a little different on the bottom, for sure. Not by much, but a little. That plane sure doesn't need a whole lot of thrust to stay in the air, as you can see. Right down there, I see the Hilton Garden Inn, American Water, and something that says Triad 1828. I'm not sure what that is. But Camden is pretty notable for a lot of things. Mainly Campbell's soup. And I believe Rutgers University is pretty popular, so I'm not 100% sure if that's in Camden. But I do see a lot of Rutgers logo signs. Another really cool thing in Camden is, it used to be called the E Center, Entertainment Center, and now it's like, I don't know, they changed their name so many times, but it's a place to go see concerts and stuff. And like I said, they changed their name so many times because corporate sponsorships buy the other one out, or they expire. And if you look straight ahead, I think that's the USS New Jersey, that battleship there. I'm not 100% sure. I should know, because I'm from this area. I really thought there was going to be a lot more foot traffic on this foot walk of the bridge, but there's not. Maybe we came into contact with 5 and 6, maybe it doesn't beat the tops, which is kind of nice because you get a lot of arm space. You know, you can kind of have a little bit more room to breathe and put your arms out more. Right. Now today, this is just a walk on this side, facing this southern portion of Philadelphia, on this side. And in one of my future videos that you may or may not have access to right now, depending on when I upload and edit and all that good stuff, it's going to be on the other side, as you see right there, coming from the other direction, from New Jersey. So right now, this is from Philadelphia. Get another shot of Philly. It's gorgeous. Really cloudy day. Mostly cloudy. But that entertainment center that I was talking about is really cool. It's home to many, many, many famous musicians and bands that come out there. I've seen a lot of cool bands there. A couple times I went to see the Grateful Dead, which is a really, really, really cool band. If you ever get to see them in person live, you should check that out. I never thought in a million years I was even gonna like the Grateful Dead until I started listening to some of their music. But yeah, it was definitely one of a great handful of bands that I can say that I really enjoyed. Yeah, I'm just guessing that these sports facilities right here, the baseball and the soccer one, this football one, a little bit ahead of us, is for Rutgers. I could be wrong, but yeah, I'm not sure. Do have Rutgers colors. All right, another plane out there in the distance on final approach. Philadelphia. Yep. Moving a little faster than the other one. But you could definitely tell he's starting to slow down a bit. Definitely slowing down. He was moving pretty good when I first got him. Yeah, he slowed down a lot. These winds are pretty rough to land a plane in, especially when you have all those people aboard that you're responsible for. It must be a really, really anxiety-inducing thing to do. Try to get a there for you. And I'm not sure what this is exactly, this part of the bridge, the building, what this does, but if you know, put it in the comments, because I love to be educated on everything, and I have no idea what that's for. It just says New Jersey on it, as you can see on the sign. And if I pan the camera down, you can see that Patco line right there, the train line. Yeah, okay, I was right. So that is Rutgers. I see the letter R now. Another plane out there in the distance on final approach to Philadelphia International. Definitely starting to slow down. Anything under 10,000 feet, they have to be going 250 knots or less. So once they get under 10,000, they really start slowing it down, and they just kind of time it with their descent, how far away the runway is. We got the Patco train running through right now, really shaking the, look at that. You can see the top of the lamp was shaking. That was the Patco line. Very cool. Yeah, this is not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was going to be scary, but it's not. Even with the shaking, it still feels secure, safe. So folks, if anybody out there has a fear of heights or any fear, just go out there and do it. Just try. I could have been like scared and turned around and stopped, and just, it could have been too much, and that would have been fine. Maybe another day I would have came back and tried to go a little bit further, but you know what? I did it. I tried, and that's all you got to do. Just try. That's all. You got to break records. You ain't got to do anything crazy. You gotta, certainly don't have to risk your life. But yeah, face your fears. Because I could say this is one less thing. You know, I'm sorry, this is one thing I never did before. One less thing on my bucket list. Never really had this on my bucket list, and quite honestly, I don't have a bucket list. Or maybe that's something I should get together. Now I'm looking towards 50 years old soon. I should probably start getting that bucket list together, because sadly we're not here forever. Is that right, Wink? Yeah, my man. I love you, goody boy. You the best. I know you're not cold, because I got, look at us. This dog is so spoiled. I got him a sweater. It's got a sweater on underneath the super heavy coat. You can't see the sweater, I don't know, but I'll pull it out. There you go, look at that. Nice thick sweater and his heavy, heavy jacket. Nice and warm, right? Let me get a high five. High five. Hold on, hold on. High five. Good boy, all right, all right. All right, so we're gonna continue on. We're about 3/4 of the way, probably a little more than that, past the bridge, down the bridge. I'm looking at the battery and it's 29%. I think it will last for the time we get to the bottom. If not, I could just, like I said, pop another battery in. But I don't think we're gonna have to do that. I think we should be okay. Pick up the pace a little bit. Really nice views. I wish I could give you some of the history on some of these buildings, but I don't really know much about. And I think I should really. I mean, being from the area, I probably should know a little bit more about Camden and the whole riverfront over here, but yeah, I just don't really know a whole lot about it. Right? Yeah, this must be a big area of Rutgers, and I see a lot of Rutgers logos, the letter R up there, so that's probably housing, dormitories, and classrooms and all that awesome stuff that goes along with college and secondary education. And it's another thing, folks. If you always wanted to go to college, it doesn't matter how old you are. My grandfather was like, I think he was like almost 60 years old when he started going to college, and he did it. And a lot of times, believe it or not, people just want to go to college just to say that they went to college, but there's so many people I know that have all these degrees and all this stuff from college, but they have no jobs. So you could have like the best degrees from the best prestigious university and still not necessarily be able to get a job or have a whole lot to show for that, other than the fact that you learned a lot. So sometimes experience in life is kind of equivalent to a lot of the college education that you could get nowadays. I'm not even, please don't think I'm trying to say that college is worthless and it's just better to get life experience. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that maybe, I don't know, if people had a balance of both, like a hybrid of both, instead of such a focus and a necessity and need to go to college, get a degree and all that stuff. Because I see a lot of folks that actually, they do that. They'll try to go to college like everyone expects them to do and that their families expect them to do, and it doesn't work out. And then for the rest of their lives, they're just not what they could have been because they just feel like, you know, they may be missing out or they just failed at something. But that's not the case at all. In life, you got to try, you got to fail. You got to fail. The only way you're going to get ahead is by trial and error. And so what? If you go to college and you flunk out and you tried your best, so what? Maybe you're one of the best mechanics in the world and you just didn't realize it. Maybe you're one of the best painters, or you got skills that have absolutely nothing to do with education. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought because I think I dropped one of my gloves. No big deal. But yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere on this bridge when we go back. So look down, it's all just one glove, but it could be in the stroller, or it could be somewhere on this bridge, but I'm sure I'll find it on the way back. All right, and hey, you know what I want to get a shot of while we're here? Is this sign. It says right here, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Dial 988 or 800-273-8255. There is hope. Make the call. Delaware River Port Authority and Patco. And folks, if you are feeling like that, as you see, audio video reporting in progress. They got cameras here. They have a call box if you need it. If you're having a problem and you find yourself on this bridge making a choice that you think is going to solve all your problems, stop before you do it and think. There's other stuff out here. There's people that may not be in your life that really care about you. So call that number if you have to. Press that button if you have to. Scream out if you need help. But don't make any decisions that would take you out of the world. I have to see we're coming down here on the Rutgers campus. I'm not 100% sure what Rutgers is known for, but I do know, I know a few really successful attorneys that came out of Rutgers. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if their law program is the best or anything, but I do know some really successful attorneys that came out of Rutgers and graduated from Rutgers. Yep, we're at 19% on the GoPro 13 battery. It's a regular standard battery, by the way. I know a lot of people say get that Enduro battery. It's better out in the cold, but like I was kind of saying earlier, I don't have that budget yet. But one day I think I'm gonna start, putting aside money, or if I get any kind of stimulus money like they're talking about, this $2,000, maybe I'll use part of that for some GoPro goodies, and that'll be great for me and for you folks at home. Possibly, better microphones, better lenses. I know that's really good too. They have a lot of different lenses and stuff. Yeah, goody. Yeah. And you know what I was saying earlier about like life and like all that kind of stuff. Dogs, this is kind of like my theory on dogs. What I always say about dogs. Dogs, they're not here for a long time, but they're here for a good time. And that's exactly what you folks, if you're watching at home, should make sure you do for your pup or your kitty cat or whatever your pet is that you have. Make sure they have the best life, the best that they could get. Even if you have to, you know, even if you have to sacrifice some stuff to make their lives better, they're not here for a long time. But like I said, they're here for a good time. And some people think dogs, I kind of believe a little part of this, that dogs are here on Earth as they say, like they're kind of like messengers to God. I know like some religions believe in this too, and ethnicities, they believe in this, that dogs are kind of like messengers for God, and they kind of let God know how you were, you know, how you're doing on Earth. I don't know how true that is, but I think it does have some partial truth, because dogs aren't here for, you know, a really long time, and they are really, really good judges of character. And I think, who knows, maybe that's what our Creator does. You know, they put stuff like that in your lives to get an extra eye and ear, even though, you know, you should be watching and listening all the time. I'm not trying to turn this into a religious channel by any means, so let's change the subject, because I don't want to lose subscribers. Because plain and simple, when you start talking about politics, when you start talking about religion and that kind of stuff, it just ruins not only the channel, in my opinion, but it taints your audience. And it really, I don't know, you should be really focusing on what you're doing and what your goal is. Now, if you're a political channel, that's a whole different story, completely different. If you're a religious channel, it's a whole different story. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that for basic channels, I think when you kind of leave that stuff out as much as you can, it doesn't necessarily hurt your audience, and I don't know, it may not necessarily help it either. I'm not sure. But while we're here, and before I go back, I got 12% battery. We'll read the sign. It says, "Welcome to the Benjamin Franklin Bridge South Walkway." It's open pretty much from 6 to 9 or 6 to 8 in the winter. I won't read the rest. I'll let you guys read the rest. All right. All right, very nice. All right, so I'm going to start on the walk back, and I guess the quest to find my missing glove. Let's see if it's in here. Maybe it's in here. Is it in here? Nah, it's somewhere on the bridge. All right, no worries. I'll get it on the way back. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that either likes bridges, is interested in bridges, or can really use the knowledge or wisdom, advice, whatever you want to call it, from this video. Thanks a lot again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This sucks. What are we doing here? I don't know.